So this section is part 3 of 5.4. Okay? And I'm going to walk through the proof on how we're going to look at this. We're going to use the stuff from chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in order to do this. Okay? So, remember before we said segment addition postulate? That was chapter 1. Right? Chapter 2, well, that's writing it in code so that we know how to read our symbols. Right? Chapter 3, right? Alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, corresponding angles, same side interior, same side exterior. Right? And with chapter 4, we have this mid-segment that we're going to be talking about. Okay? So, with this one, these last 3, with 14, 15, and 16, we're really using our older stuff. So, you guys ready? So, what I'm trying to do is show you what is a mid-segment. What's it doing? The mid-segment does 2 things. 1, it'll set this up so that it's equal. But 2, by creating a mid-segment, we create 2 parallel lines. Okay? That's the other huge part to a mid-segment. So, you're going to have these parallel lines that'll help you use the stuff from chapter 3. So if I know that this angle is 55, then from chapter 1, right, I know that this angle is 125 because it's a linear pair. Right? Because this has to add to be 180. Okay? But from chapter 3, I start to look at PQR. So P, Q, and R, I'm starting to look at this angle right here. And what I see is it's interior, and they're alternating, right? So we have alternate interior angles, which are congruent. So I know that this is 1, so 2, I know that angle PQR is congruent to angle, what did they give us? QRJ? QRJ. Why? Because alternating interior angles. Okay? So therefore I can just plug this in. Then angle PQR is congruent to 55 degrees. And I know that this is number 14.
Is number 1 given?
Yes. Yeah. So number 3 is just substitution. And that's that's going to be 14. Okay? So the next part, to 15, HGJ. HGJ. So we're talking about this one. From H, G to J. Okay? So now we're talking about this guy right here. So what do we notice about that guy? Okay? And we should notice that these are mid-segments, right? These are mid-segments. So therefore this is parallel to that one, right? If that's true, then these need to be congruent. But why? So I know that HGJ is congruent to QRJ, but why? Why are they congruent? One's inside, one's outside. They're on the same side. What is it called when we say same side, interior, exterior? Corresponding. Okay? So, these are what we call corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? So then we use substitution again. HGJ is congruent to 55 degrees. Why? Substitution. And that's problem number 15. Okay? Alright, what's next? GPQ. So we're looking at GPQ. Now the cool part with GPQ, right, is that I know, because this is 125, that this is 125, because I know that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. And I know it's a parallelogram because this is parallel and these are parallel. But you guys don't know about parallelograms yet because we haven't talked about that. That comes later. Chapter 6 or 7. Okay? So, why is it 125 degrees? How do I know? How do you know? So you got to use your skills. We know this one, right? This is 55 degrees. We just found that, right? Are these on the same side? Are they interior? So we're using same side interior angles. And we know that same side interior angles are supplementary from chapter 3. So what that tells me is that angle PGJ,
180 degrees,
or I should say HGJ, is plus, what's the angle we're looking for? GPQ is equal to 180 degrees. Why? Because the same side interior angles. Okay? So right now we've used chapters 3, 2, and 1, and 5 in order to solve these 6 problems. Okay? Now all I have to do is plug in, of course. I need to plug in 55 degrees. I call that substitution. Right? And then I solve minus 55, minus 55. So I get LGPQ is equal to 125. Why? Subtraction property of equality. And that's 125. Okay?